Committee reports, legislative update, Mrs. Shorter.
Yes, I'm going to attempt to give an update on House Bill 126, and I may need Nancy to weigh in. So, as I've spoke about before, House Bill 126 pertains to the right of school boards to challenge property valuation. So let me just make it clear that the property valuation that we're talking about, it's not our individual homes. Typically, I think it's 17,500 is the increase, is the valuation increase that you have to have that met as a limit. In my time on the board, I've not seen a valuation challenge for an individual homeowner. It's typically when large businesses have been valuated at a property level that is significantly under where the sales price was. So school boards will typically challenge those valuations because we collect a property tax from those businesses. We collect a property tax from homeowners as well, but again, this is really not about homeowners because typically if you're a homeowner, if you see a decrease in your property tax of $17,000, you would be alarmed. You wouldn't be so happy about that. So it's not about homeowners and their property valuations. This is really about business owners and whether or not those valuations can be contested by the board as we normally would in cases where it happens. So House Bill 126 basically limits boards of education to do this. In the language of the bill, there was a meeting of the minds between the House and Senate. So as of right now, as I last checked, the governor has not signed off on this bill just yet. So within the conferee's report between the House and Senate, they've made some compromises. However, school boards are still expected to have less rights. We do expect that the governor will sign this bill. I want to give you a little bit of information. One of the things that this bill does is that it basically eliminates this private payment. And this was something that was used in disputes between boards and individual businesses. So the ability to have those private payment agreements worked out, to my knowledge, that is gone. That's been ended. Another thing that has changed that will be a big impact, it is basically the terms in which a school board can file one of these property valuation type disputes. So my understanding is that there are two circumstances that must be met. If the property was sold in an arm's length transaction in the year before the tax lien date for the year for which the complaint was filed, for a sale price that is more than 10% and more than $500,000 above the value set by the county auditor. That's one condition. The second condition, the school board itself must pass a resolution authorizing the complaint after giving 7 days notice to the property owner of the meeting at which the resolution will be considered. So my reading of it is that both of those conditions would have to be met in order for a board to challenge these property valuations if they believe that it's being set too low, significantly under the sales price value for the business. So these things together will take a little bit more of a school district's ability to go with that revenue recapture. And the Board of Revision, who basically would rule over these disputes, in this case, the boards are just being hobbled a little bit in our ability to do this. Once again, it's not homeowners. These are large businesses within the district, and we know that this happens because it has happened. We have had to deal with this before. So, Nancy, if you could just weigh in there on the impact.
Well, actually, Mr. Clemens and I were speaking about this bill earlier this week, and we do have concerns. Both of us agree that it does limit the board's ability to fight these. And one other piece to that bill was, once the Board of Revision makes a decision, I believe the Board of Educations are not allowed to appeal those decisions any longer to the State Board of Tax Appeals.
That's right.
Which I think we've had 9 cases recently that we've been waiting on from the state, that just had some decisions being made against, well, actually in our favor, against the Board of Revision. So it's an interesting bill. Again, I agree with you, it's not in the board's best interest, but it isn't signed yet, so maybe there's some hope.
Okay. We'll also, we also won't receive notification about those challenges.
Yes, and we discussed that this week too, about how we might stay on top of those sales and valuations and coming up with a system for us to be able to look at that, track that.
Okay, you guys are on top of it? Good. So we'll cross our fingers, but I'm a cynic. So that's it, if you guys have any questions.
No, thank you for that detail. It seems like an unfortunate bill. I'm not sure the need for it to begin with, but here we are.
I agree.
Okay, thank you very much. A Butler Tech update. I have put a student success newsletter at your place in each of the tables. The student showcases are coming up here the first week of May. Many of those will culminate on May 5th, I think it is, when they have the all boards meeting, which unfortunately is the same night as our next school board meeting. So no one from Fairfield will be there, but with 11 districts involved, sooner or later it's going to conflict with one of your board meetings, and this year it's our turn. So we won't be there for that. Butler Tech graduation is on May 16th. I think it's a Monday night down at Cintas Center as well, and about 600 graduates this year from the various programs. Looking forward to participating in that. That's all I have there. Student achievement, Mrs. Gundrum.
I wanted to recognize, we have 3 students that made the Cincinnati All-City team. Honorable mention for bowling was Jacob Pop. Second team for bowling was Haley Wallace, and honorable mention for bowling was Lexi Kidd. So that's a real honor and a great spotlight on our bowling teams. And then also, of course, we have Newsies going on across the hall right now. It's always amazing to see how the students come together and put a whole production together, and how well it always turns out. So break a leg, everyone. And then I also wanted to mention that the West second and third graders attended a STEM presentation on fossils and paleontology, and it was given by Mrs. Wimmers and actually one of our fourth graders, Jordan Dieringer, who is a fossil enthusiast. So that's pretty special.
Great. Thank you, Mrs. Gundrum. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Clark.
Yes, a couple fun things. On April 22nd, Earth Day, thanks to Duke Energy, they're going to have a tree planting ceremony at Huffman Park. That's on John Gray Road by the golf course there. The donation came from Duke Energy for the tree planting, and there'll be a celebration to honor that. It's at 1 o'clock on the 22nd. Also, the Miami Valley Ballet Theater is coming to the CAC, Community Arts Center, and that is on April 22nd also, and a second showing on April 29th. Those are always really, really well done, and that is The Beauty and the Beast, so that would be worth seeing. A couple other things going on. We have some kids camps. Let's see, we have Chefs Around the World for ages 3 through 6. and that is on, is that Tuesday, May 24th and Wednesday, the 25th. We also have summer camp, Summerful of Art Camp, and that's for ages 6 to 12. And that's May 31st through June 2nd. Also dance camp, and that is for ages 7 and up on June 6th and 10th. And then we have Memorial Day parade coming, and they're taking participant registrations for that. You can go to the website or the Facebook page and click on that registration for the parade and join in the fun. So a lot of good things happening.
Great, thank you, Mr. Clark. Mr. Smith, anything from the Planning Commission?
They met recently, but nothing discussed was relevant to the school district, so nothing to report tonight.
Great, thank you.